So Rakesh is also here. I believe we can start.
I will step out. You carry on. Amar. If
Sure.
you need any
Thank you.
problem, you can call me up. Yeah.
Yeah. No issue. Okay, so guys, quick recap. What we have done last day.
So last week, sir, we have done like um, what is the what is the for loop, and while loop, and what is like what is the you like set and map and list. So we are so I am following the set
So
for
have we
loop.
have we have we checked what is set, map, and list?
Yeah, sir. I already checked what is a list, what is a map and set.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So you can assign yes, you assign me yesterday class. You can assign a task like what is the Fibonacci number. So I am trying,
Palindrome,
but it is
palindrome,
not. I am
palindrome
trying.
string from one palindrome numbers from one to
Palindrome
thousand.
number, yes,
Fibonacci.
palindrome number. But I am trying, but it is not completed. I am just out of my home, so I am not showing you. But
That is
later I
fine.
am showing.
Anyone else? Who else has completed that Fibonacci number series?
Yes, I have completed. Let me show.
Yep. Who is there? Shushanto.
Pallav.
Yes.
No, that is fine. Shushanto was asking for.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm also not done my assignment. If you sit, then I will show you.
If you haven't done that, then that is not the right thing. You should be completing it. Let's complete. Let's do that today then.
Okay, sir. Because
This
I
is
have
the
tried, but I'm not getting the actual result.
Mhm.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
this
is
is
the code
this is not
created.
the Fibonacci one, I believe.
No, this is the palindrome that you have given
Palindrome.
homework,
Yes, yes.
and this is
Palindrome.
Fibonacci.
Hmm. So with this, the way you have written this Fibonacci one, if I tell you print first 20 numbers of Fibonacci series, can you do in this way?
First 20 numbers. Uh,
So, follow, if you have to print first 20 numbers of Fibonacci series, last day what we have told, let's print all the Fibonacci numbers till 100 or 1000, something I have told. I
yes.
0 to 100.
0 to 100.
0 to 100 probably. That is fine. But if I tell you that can you print first 20 numbers of Fibonacci series, how we can do that? You just It needs a very small modification here. Please do that and we will come back. Okay.
Okay, okay. Let me check in my own.
Okay. So who else is there? Like Tomojit, I believe you have already completed that.
Sir, actually, no, sir. I have not gone through the yesterday's session properly, and I have also some issues with my laptop. So it is given for repairing. So today I am not well with the assignments. Sorry, sir.
Sushanto, Sushanto, can you hear me?
Sorry, sir. So actually, I will try, sir, but I'm not getting actual result. So if you say, then I will show you, sir,
Yep. Show
because
me.
I cannot be understand what is the issue will be.
Show me.
Yes, sir.
Actually, सबका Fibonacci print হচ্ছে।
So, guys, what I have seen, Pallab has tried to do multiple programs, right? But if everybody is not doing that, then like today it is fine, but next day I am not going to take the class again.
Is
Until and
visible my
unless
screen,
you
sir?
can complete the previous things, you cannot move on. I can see whatever you have written, but the important part is that you have written how you were thinking in your mind, like how you can do this print this Fibonacci series. You
Sir, first of all, I am
oh,
trying
this is
for the
calendar.
number, revise the number. The revised number is same, so I am compare the compare
Rakesh,
the.
Rakesh, I will
Uh,
come to you. I will come to you later. Let
okay.
Shukanto complete his part, then I will come back to you. So this is the palindrome one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So till it is not equals to 0, that is fine. First of all, when you are writing code, you use proper indentation. Indent your code properly. Don't write in this way. So if you have the for and what is this like this line 12?
Line 12. This one.
Yes. So
This one will be
when we start second bracket like this curly brace, when we start that,
start from here
no,
because
when we put that curly brace, where?
because of they have a I will using a to loop. Actually, they have a for and then while
So
also.
so whenever there is any
Hmm.
body of anything, any element, then we put the curly brace, right?
Yes, sir.
So here, like in this position, what you are doing right now is that you have defined for loop in line 10.
Yes, sir.
You have put the first curly brace to open the body of for loop there. So in
Hmm.
line 12, which body you are starting again?
Starting again because of this while whole uh, this whole body actually because they have a
Whole
I
body
will
means
start my
whose
I
whole
start
body?
this
Whose
from
body is that? Second.
while to system like
So
this much part.
for a while, if we have to provide, like if we have to define the body of while, so
Mhm.
that curly brace should start after while, not before
Yeah,
while.
this also will start from here and close
Right.
it here.
Then which bodies you are defining in line 12?
This one actually this one will be under for this for loop. That's why I will start from here because this one I already start and close it here. That
Then
will
what it is doing in line number 12?
and it's not required because this one is already in.
Not only
proceed
it's not
here.
required, it is wrong.
Okay, sir.
First thing is that try to understand the syntax. Syntax you don't have to remember or memorize. The only thing you have to understand is the logic. If you are putting any second bracket, the curly brace, if you are starting or ending anywhere, that means
Yes.
you are starting or ending any body. So here you do not have any definition for anything which needs to be enclosed within a body. Then why you are starting a second bracket or curly brace there? That is wrong.
Okay,
First thing, remove that.
sure, sir.
Why you are removing this one? Yeah.
Mm. Yes,
So
sir.
now just check how many curly brace you have opened and how many you have closed.
Right. So this is the whole body. This one will start from here.
So this can be checked in a single line, like in a at a glance, if you do your programming in proper indentation. So your for y that is starting with a tab, like extra space, not from the same line where you have defined the integers. Whenever you are
This one.
defining, yeah, that for is part of your the body part of the method. It is directly under method. So this nesting you have to understand. First thing is that this for is starting, it should start from the same indentation you have used to declare the variables, because it is only part of your method. And the
Yes, sir.
while whatever you have defined within for, that should go, that should start from there, from where it is starting right now. But again, the next line, like the body of the while, that should be indented with another tab. So this line number 14, 15 and 16 should with another tab, another space. Okay, so
Okay.
always use proper indentation, otherwise you are going to mess it up with this body and from where you have started, what you have started with all these things. Now let's come to whatever you have written. So for equals to I equals to 2, I is less than equals to 1000, I plus plus. Now within number you have assigned I plus plus. Why you have assigned I plus plus? What is the meaning of I plus plus?
I plus plus, that means what are the value will be get and this value will be assigned to this number.
So why plus plus? This plus plus is unary operator. I have
Right.
very clearly
Yes.
defined that, right?
Yes, sir.
So in I plus plus, what you can assign actually?
So can I remove it?
No, whether you will remove that or not, that is that you will
No,
decide. It I
actually,
want
sir.
to understand. My first point
Yes.
is that why you have assigned I plus plus, why you haven't assigned I just wanted to understand that part.
Actually,
I
sir,
is a variable, I plus plus is on top of I, you are putting some unary operator. I plus plus means I equals to I plus 1, that we can.
right.
So that means you haven't looked into the last day, whatever we have gone through. Have you looked into that? Have you gone through that?
Yes, sir. Because I will add this plus plus because of I don't get the result, so that's why I will checking it and then I will just edit this one and I see now whether
What you are
this
not
result will
getting?
be get or
What
not.
you, I didn't get your point. What you didn't get?
Just a minute, I show you some.
You are not getting the result means whatever you are trying to print that is not working. And if it is not working, then you will, like, whatever you are writing in your code, that should be logical, right?
Yes, sir.
It is not something like that I will try this and that and let's see whether it will work or that will work. You have to build
Mhm.
your logic first, then you can do your coding. So there is a
Right.
concept of dry run. Dry run means when you are writing your code, you are not actually executing that code, you are not running that code, but you are trying to understand if it is, if I run that, what would be the output. So first, let's look into whatever you have used here, and then we will come back to your execution. Let's not execute it right now. First,
Okay.
let's try to understand what you have written. So first thing is that you have taken for, you have started from 2. I'm not sure why you have started from 2. If we
Uh,
have to,
because I
if,
am start from 2 because if we multiplication of 0, then always the value will become 0. And
so
if it's 1,
what
then
is the
its be
problem
value
with
is the
1?
same.
What is the problem with 1? Why
1
it is
because
having?
of is a when will be multiplication of 1 is a come with the same value. So
So why you are
that's why I will.
taking this loop from 2 to 2000, 2 to 1000? Why you are
Yes,
taking that? You are trying to find out all the numbers from 1
yes,
to 1000, whatever is palindrome, right?
palindrome, right.
So then uh, why you are excluding 1?
1 because of when we will calculation, then it will become a same value. So that's why I will think is it will be maybe come out the result will be wrong. So that's why I will start from 2.
So you have a logic. By that logic, you will check whether that number is palindrome or not,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So now, first thing is that first loop, this for loop, you are taking only to find out that which are the numbers I am going to check for
Yes.
palindrome.
That means how many time to check?
Not how many times, which numbers,
Okay, okay.
not how many
Right,
times. How many times is a different thing. Which numbers I am going to check whether that is palindrome or not.
right. Yes, sir.
So start your loop from 1,
Okay.
because you have to check all the numbers between 1 to 1000.
1 to 1000.
So this number I is your loop variable, and with this loop variable you will go through each and every number from 1 to 1000.
One
So
to
this is
thousand.
your input number which you are going to test whether that is palindrome or not.
Right, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now you have assigned that to another integer, that is number, that is fine. Then within while you are checking whether number is not equals to 0, that is also fine. uh, Better to check whether that number is greater than 0, because ideally you are actually uh, trying to go into, like, you will reduce that number, like the you will reduce that the existing number, whatever you have got within these numbers, you are trying to put that, like, you are trying to reduce that number, the last digit of that number, every time you will go through this loop. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so not equals to 0 is anyway fine. Better to check whether that is greater than 0. Anyway,
Okay.
so now the remainder, math dot mean. So how, from where you have got this method math dot mean?
Math dot mean because of I will say the whatever the number will be get. and then this one also be divided by a 10.
Go
The
to your browser and write math.mean, not this browser. Yeah, write math.mean space Apex Salesforce. Go
this
to
first
this
one.
math. Yeah. Now search Control F. Put Control F.
Control F.
MIN mean
My
the
M.
method you have used. What is it is saying?
Return the smaller of the two specific decimals. Return the smaller of the two specific decimals. Two
So
specific
what does that mean?
integer and return small of the two specified long.
Right. So whether
Integer, that means this is a
those are
two number.
different data types, but it will only return the minimal number, like the smaller number, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was your requirement? What you have tried to do?
Here I will try to Here I will try to what the reminder will be get
Okay.
from this
So
number.
that
Like
means
they have a
the
number
method
is
you have used is not right, correct? So how you are trying to figure out which method you have to use here?
since I will find it from the browser.
Go back to that same browser. In the top URL, just write, not here, just in the top URL where developer.salesforce.com/doc. Yeah, right. Find remainder in
Reminder.
Apex Salesforce.
This one reminder key.
uh
Sorry, I will
you
click it.
can anyway, you have to practically you have to go through these things, which one you should check. But anyway, like I'm just dictating you to
Hmm.
tell how you should search whenever you are writing code or you are doing anything, how you should search. This there is the way is very simple. Just go to Google and search whatever you are doing right now. That is the those are the basic things. So in Google, even if you search, you will
Hmm.
get the details. Practically you should open the next one, the developer.salesforce.com modular operator in Apex class.
Okay.
What it is saying, somebody has tried that and that didn't work, and then percentage they have tried, it didn't work.
Yes. The type with integer and integer percentage 10 will be but error that. So what I do?
Right, so it should be just go through this blog, whatever it is written there. Check the third one. To perform modular operator between two numbers, you have to use math.mod. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so use that math.mod.
Actually, sir, I will want to be apply this logic actually, but I can
What
understand
is
why.
that logic?
If
You build
uh,
your logic. Don't try to. That's what I have told. You can take the syntax from internet, but logic you
mhm.
have to build. Don't think that logic you will get there. So
No,
what
no, actually, I will.
you need the
Yes,
module. You need the remainder, right? So now you have got
reminder.
syntax how to get the remainder. So take that syntax and let's go back to the class and let's see what we can write there.
Okay, so can I copy this or this one?
Just take math.mod.
Hmm.
That's what you need. That is the syntax you need.
Yes, sir. Then dot note.
So now what you are doing, you are taking the remainder now. So it will divide by 10 and the last digit will come as the remainder. That is fine.
Yes, sir.
So you are taking now the reverse. Reverse equals to reverse into 10 plus remainder. That means the existing number will be added at the end of the whatever I
Reverse,
had in my previous number. And then
and then
number
number is equal to number divided by
that
10.
is the correct one. So now what you have to do, you have to check whether the initial the my initial number and this reverse, whether these two are the same or not. If that is same, then only you can say that it is a palindrome, right? You have
Yes,
done
sir.
the reverse of that number, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
and you have to do that within this for loop only, because within that for loop you are taking numbers one after another. So just outside while loop, now start your if and check whether the number which you have reversed and the original number, whether those are the same or not,
Okay.
right?
Yes, sir. Because I'm checking first, this is a actual is a reverse or not. So that's why we're
No, no,
using a
it is
if.
already reversed. So you don't need to bother about that right now in your dry run at least. After that, if you see that it is not reversing, for that you can just print it just before if, whether that is number is reversed or not. Here you are trying to put palindrome number is. So I am not sure from where you have got this duplicate number, whatever it is.
Duplicate number actually I mean assigned for the numbers.
So your numbers, these numbers is anyway getting overridden by I in
Hmm.
your statement
Yes,
you
sir.
have written in line number 11. After that, you are working on these numbers for throughout the while loop. So how you can
Right.
expect that whatever you have taken, and anyway, why you have taken that as an argument, I'm not sure. Like what you were doing with that argument.
No, actually this I will using for this for loop only, and this
But
duplicate
you
I
are
will
assigning that I in numbers. So
right,
what
sir.
you were doing with that numbers?
Okay. So I will remove it this one then, and this numbers.
That is not important right now. Anyway, that numbers will not be there. So anyway, when you
Mhm.
are going out of this while loop, before closing the for loop, what is the value of numbers?
As per this while
Exactly. Exactly, after going through this while loop, when you are coming out of this while loop, what is the value of number?
Value of number, like if I put it here, 1 to 1. So 1 to
You don't
1 is
put
not
it there
equal to
as 1 to
0.
1, you will get the value of I, and that value, the current value
Mhm.
of I would be assigned there.
Yes.
And after that, you are going into loop. Then what will happen? Explain me uh,
Hmm.
line number 14, 15, 16, and how you
Right.
are when you are coming out, what is the value of numbers?
No, actually, there I will to say my number is must be 1 to 1000.
That is
So
fine.
that's
You have
why I
taken
will
that,
use it for
you
here.
have already expressed it.
Mhm.
You are taking one number after another, starting from 1 till 1000. That is fine.
Right.
And every time you are assigning, for every pass or every time you are going through this loop of for, you are assigning the current value of I into numbers. That is fine.
Yes.
Now you have come into the while. Within
Yes.
for, there is another while you have written. So
Because
within while, whatever you have written in line number 14, 15, and 16, check that and tell me what is the value of number when you
right.
were coming out of while. So
Okay. So,
after line number 18, what is the value of number?
so it's so actually, sir, I am here applying my logic because this number will be first start from 1. So 1 not is equal to 0. So reminder is equal to 1 divided by 10. Then will be get maybe
What is 1 divided by 10, and what is the remainder of that?
10 divided by 1.
10, not 10 divided by 1, it is 1
1
divided by
divided
10.
by 10. Sorry.
Hmm.
Yes. So whatever the reminder will be get, and this
Whatever,
reminder
what is that remainder? If you are dividing 1
10
by
uh,
10, then what is the remainder?
maybe becomes a 1. Otherwise, it become goes to the decimal. But I don't want to need the decimal actually.
Well, anyway, you are not going to get the decimal because you are only getting the integer values, and
Yes, sir.
mod means you are getting the remainder. So if
Reminder.
you divide 1
Hmm.
by 10, then what is your remainder?
10 by what? 1.
Okay, then
Then there will be reminder value is 1, and this reverse is equal to I will taking as 0 because I will
that
take
is
a
fine.
one
So its
single
value is
number.
0. Its
Yes,
value is
and
0.
this one
So
also
0,
be
0 into 10 will be 0 plus
0
remainder,
plus
that is
1
plus 1. So
1
your reverse is 1,
1,
and
and
then
this
your number equals to,
numbers by 10,
ha, so that means 1 by 10.
1 by 10 once
That
more
is
again.
0.
Yes, sir.
That is 0, right?
That is 0. Then
So
it will
it will,
become from 2 and then
no, no, no,
once
no,
more
no,
again.
no, 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 no. It will not go there.
No, sir,
First
it
thing is
will
that,
be first will become is 0, right? 1 is equal to 0.
right.
When it will be 0 is equal to 0, then it will be start from here 2.
So when it is 0 equals to 0, that is number equals to 0, it will go out of while,
Then it will be
right?
this consider will be true. So that's
No,
why it will
no,
be
no. It
start from
will,
2.
it before going to 2, it has some other things. You have written the half cooked if, let's forget about that, but your system.debug is there.
Yes.
So it will execute that system.debug before going for the next pass of for loop.
Then this part I cannot be understand what I do actually. This will be required for if.
That's why you need to write the code in good indentation.
Okay.
Put put a tab from this while. The while you have written, put in line number 13, just put a tab. 14, 15, 16, put two tabs there.
Yes, sir.
Line number 18, put one tab. This if, remove it. For this system debug, put one tab.
Sorry.
Put one tab.
No.
Don't go back. That is the body part of for. Now look into line number 10 and line number 24.
10 and 24. Yes.
Right? Just
Yes.
beside 10, there is one arrow. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
That means it is giving you the body and you can collapse it. Click on that arrow. So what you are getting here?
This kind of symbol.
That is fine. What you are seeing right now. After line number 10, you are seeing line number 25 because the remaining things are collapsed. Why collapsed?
Five,
Because that
seven.
is the body of the for loop which is collapsed. So that means within line number 10 and line number 24, whatever you have written, that will execute every time uh, this for loop is executing. That is, for every pass of this for loop, it will execute the whole all these lines, line number 11 to line number 24.
Yes, sir. So whole thing in a for loops body.
Right. Whenever you are executing the for loop. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now expand that. Click on that arrow again. Okay. Now check this line number 13.
13, right.
Collapse it. Now what you can see?
13,
Now
14
right,
to 16,
right.
18.
So what is happening within this while you are just reversing the number.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Yes,
within for, you have come into this for. First number is 1. You have assigned that 1 for like whatever the value of I, that is 1 within numbers. That numbers within this while loop, you are trying to reverse, and then you are just printing system.debug, and then you are printing this value number. Okay.
yes, sir.
So within for loop, it will happen again and again until and unless you are going out of this for loop. Is this clear to you?
Yes. Yes, sir.
This is clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now expand line 13. Now forget about the other lines. Look only line number 13, 14, 15, and 16.
Okay.
Okay. So
13,
with
14,
this
16.
number, the variable number, what you are trying to do, that first you are checking while this number is not equals to 0, then you are going to check the remainder. That
Reminder.
remainder you are just adding up with another value, another variable in some way. That is fine. And after that, the important part is line number 16. In line number 16, what you are doing, numbers equals to number by 10.
Yes, sir.
So that means it will reduce the last digit of that number.
Right, sir.
So
This is
after,
overwrite actually.
obviously overwrite, so it will actually the what is the value of numbers in line number 15 and line number 16, what is the difference? That after line number 15 the value of number was 1 till that time.
Hmm.
After execution of line number 16, at the first pass of for loop, I am saying, after executing line number 16, what is the value of number right now?
Same one.
0. 0. You are putting 1 divided by 10, and then
Hmm.
you are assigning that back to numbers.
Right.
So what is the value of numbers now?
Right now is a 0.
0. Now you are checking the condition of while loop, that is in line number 13,
Hmm. This one.
right?
Yes. Then is consider will be true.
True, and it will go out of this while loop, right?
Right, sir.
And then it will go to this system.debug, line number 21.
Hmm.
So what is it can print?
0.
So that means every time you are going out of this while loop, the value of that number will be zero, the logic, whatever you have written.
It will be changed.
What
No,
you
we
have to
don't
check,
need to.
that will come
We
to
don't
later.
need to
It will come to that
release 0.
later. First, try to understand whatever you have written, what is the output of that. What you
Mm-hmm.
have to write, that is a different thing that we will come later. First, let's understand what you have written till now.
Yes, I understand. No, actually, this value will be count for 0, and this will
Correct.
out also be 0.
Correct. Now the other point. That is what you have to write to find out whether that is palindrome or not. What was your logic? That the current number and its reverse number, whether both are the same or not, right?
Yes, sir.
So what you have to check right now after coming out of loop, that is my original number. What is my original number? That is the loop variable I, that I am considering as my
Hmm.
original number, right?
Original number, right?
And where I can get the reverse of this number, that is REVERS, whatever you have taken that variable.
Mm-hmm.
In that variable only you can get the reverse of the number with the logic you have written in the within while, right?
Yes, sir.
So then in line number 19 you should write the if, that if I equals to REVERS, that is that variable, if that is equal, then you will print it is a palindrome number, otherwise you will print it is not a palindrome number,
Right, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Here it is not completed. So now it will, that logic will work, but that logic will work only one time within this for loop. The question is why? I know like you cannot tell that right now. I am telling you. What is the value of this reverse, the variable reverse? What is that?
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can you just repeat the question once again? I didn't understood.
So till now, whatever it is written in this code, and even if we write the if condition that if I equals to reverse, then print palindrome, otherwise print not palindrome. Even if we complete this code, then also this code, whatever code we would be seeing after that, this code will execute and this will check the actual reverse number only one time.
Okay,
It will not check the whole things, whatever logic we wanted to build, that will not execute from here, from the second time or third time, whatever
okay,
it is.
okay. So it
That
will
is
print the first palindrome number it finds, then it will stop.
not even first palindrome number. As one is a palindrome number, like any single digit number is a palindrome number, because
Yes,
the reverse of that number is same. So
yes.
it will calculate, it will do the logic, it will execute this logic properly, whatever our intent was, only for one time.
Okay,
From the second pass only it will start to do something else, something additional which is not required, and that part I'm just going to explain you why.
okay, okay.
So what was the initial value of reverse? Initial value of reverse was 0. So after the first pass of for loop, like when I have executed from line 10 to line 24, when that second bracket of for loop is encountered, it will go back, it will check whether I is less than 1000, it will be yes, it will increase the value of I plus plus. that is 2. Now it will come back to this while loop. Within this while loop, when I am going to execute line number 15, okay,
Yes, sir.
anyway, first rectify that E. Yeah. Uh, when I am coming to this, what is the value of initial value of reverse?
0.
0.
No, absolutely no.
The
I
first
have
step,
gone
this
through my
one.
first pass of I, and there the reverse was 1. So
Mm.
how it can be 0? Where I have mentioned that it should be 0. So that means after every execution of while, like every execution means execution of you have executed, you have taken the number of the loop variable of for loop, you have executed on top of that. Once with this while you have done the reverse, once your reversing is completed for a number, you have to reset this reverse number with 0. Otherwise it will carry the old value, the number, previous number which I have done, like whatever number I have taken in I after the pass, it will contain the reverse number of I within reverse, and if I don't reset it to 0, it will continue to carry the previous value. Is that clear to
Okay.
everybody? Is it clear to everybody? Sushanto,
Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
Indranil or someone was saying what
Yes,
will
yes, yes.
happen. Clear? So
Yes, sir.
after number equals to I, ideally you should put another statement that is reverse equals to 0, because you have to reinitialize every time you are doing the reverse, and you have done with your checking and all, you have to start fresh with this reverse number. So in line number 12, your statement should be reverse equals to 0. Did
Sure.
you get my point?
Yes, sir.
So put that reverse equals to 0, and you write the if whatever needs to be written uh, after the while loop. You will write it down of your own. I will not dictate that part. That part you have to do of your own. And
If else part, right?
yes, the if else part. So Fibonacci series, have we completed the Fibonacci series? Probably that I have shown last day. Hopefully
Uh,
that's fine for everybody.
yes, that is fine, but you just told me to print the first 20. Can I share my screen? There is some problem.
Yes, you can show your screen. So, Sushanta, I believe you
Yes, sir.
are
Yes, I understand, sir. But sir,
okay.
you said if part, but if part I will apply after this while, right? That means it's starting from here. I mean,
Not here,
out of this
no,
body.
just below the second bracket of line number 19, because that if is part of your part of the body of this for loop, right?
Yes, sir.
So within for it is, so whenever you are starting any body of anything, you will start with a tab, that is the declaration line of that body, declaration of from where that body will start, that will be one tab space behind. Like if my for loop has a body, so from which indentation that for loop is getting started, it will start from a the next line, that is the body of the for, will start with one additional tab space, so that you can see when you are looking into this code right now from line number 11 to line number 22, that
Right.
should be in same indentation. Within that you have a while that has a separate body, so that's why that is a you are putting another tab there. But uh, whatever the statements of for loop, within for loop itself, only part of for and not part of any inner body, then that should start from the same indentation whatever you have done for line number 11, 12, line number 14, in line number 19, whatever the indentation is, your if will start from there only. But anyway, your for writing this for, you have put another tab that you should not do. Like the for should start from the line from where you have written line number 6, 7, and 8. That is the declaration of the integer. So no, you have to go back.
Okay.
Shift tab.
Then shift tab.
You can put shift tab. Most probably shift tab should work.
No, sir.
Okay, then backspace will work.
Backspace will be taking as a single space.
That will take
That
some
is space.
space. You have to indent it properly with those things. It will take some time. You can do that when you are free. Only point is that you write it down. I will check
Mhm.
what like how you are writing that if. Okay, and
Yes.
let's look into what Paulo was trying to show. So
Okay,
Sushanta,
sir.
I will come back to you later.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Paulo.
Yes, sure. Is my screen visible?
Yep.
Okay. So, for this part, it was printing the Fibonacci series, and I tried to put a for loop here. And what my intention was, the series is there. I want to put the series into a list, and from that list, I want to get the first 20 numbers. It was
Whatever you are trying to do, write that in one Word document. Okay, and
okay.
then we will come back to this code. You write it down, and everybody, I would suggest do that. Whatever, like to print first 20 numbers of Fibonacci series, what you have to do, write that in simple English language. Okay, in a Word document.
I write it in pen and paper.
You can do that if you can share that. So
Oh,
because I want to see that.
okay.
So either you write that in Word, Notepad, or anything, any text editor, write that in simple English, and I just want to say that. And you have 5 minutes for that. Okay,
Okay.
then I'm coming back. Follow. First, you have to build your logic. So, to building your logic, first thing is that you have to write this in your, not like this. It is the problem statement. To resolve this problem, what you will do?
Acha. Uh,
Rather
how
than
should I?
writing it in code, write it in Word.
Like what I've read, my
Simple
intention,
thing.
what I want to
Simple
do.
thing. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So what you have to do, you have to write it down in this way, that right, for loop. So how many times that loop should execute?
Uh,
100. 20 times.
uh,
10 times.
20.
suppose.
Within that, what you have to do, you have to write something. You have to put your logic. What is your logic? Calculate, calculate Fibonacci next number, right?
Okay.
How you will calculate this, that we will come. Like you have to explain, you have to put it in more details how you will calculate this. Okay, and then you have to print it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start of this loop, and then once you are done, you should end your loop. Something like this, you have to write it down.
Okay.
It is not the right thing whatever I have written till now. Only thing how you have to write it, that's what I am showing you. This calculation, what is the calculation, you have to explain. You have to put that in details.
Okay.
Okay, so write it down and then we will come back.
Uh, I have written something.
You have written something, just give others the time to write it down, and then I will come back in 5 minutes to check for everybody when everybody is completed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Are we done? Guys, am I audible?
Uh, yes,
Yes, sir.
can I present? Like I have not completed till.
Let me write it down. You compare whatever you have written, and from there we will go on. Okay. So, what is our problem statement? That is print first 20 Fibonacci numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
So, this is my problem statement. So, for that, what I have to do? So, for Fibonacci series, first two numbers are always hard coded, right? If we start from 0, then it would be 0, 1. If we start from 1, then first two numbers would be 1 and 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Print first number, that is 1. Then print second number, that is equals to 2. Sorry, that is equals to 1 again. After that, what I have to do, if it is first 20 numbers, then how many times my loop should execute? Within loop, how many times I should execute that loop? First two numbers are already
Then 18.
18. So if I have to generalize it, what I will do, that is total FIVO numbers minus 2 times. So what is total FIVO numbers?
20.
Right. Let's define it. Total FIVO numbers equals to 20. What is this? Total number of total Fibonacci numbers to be printed. Fine. That's what I have to do. That I have taken as 20. And so my loop should be, here it is 20. If I just change it to 40, then my loop is generalized in a way that whatever I have changed, whatever I change here, that will reflect here as well. That's how I have to build my logic. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Now, within loop, what I have to do, I have to take something called, say, sum equals to first number plus second number, because this is my next, that is the third number, or the next number is that sum of first number and second number. Correct?
Yes.
Next FIVO number, how that looks like. It is 1, then 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, then 13, then 21, and dot dot dot
Yes,
dot.
sir.
So what is my first two numbers I have already printed, that is hard coded. Okay, it is hard coded, I cannot do anything, we cannot put any logic here. But from there on, what is how I can get my next number in Fibonacci series? That is summation of previous two numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
That is first number plus second number, that will give my next Fibonacci number.
Yes. 1 plus 1 equals 2.
Correct. Now once this next number is updated, like that I have got the next number, then what I have to do for the next time, I have got the next number, let's print it first. Print.
Print for next Fibonacci number.
Correct. Next Fibonacci number, print next Fibonacci number. That is done. Now this part, calculation of next number, is done. Now what I have to do? Now I have moved from these two numbers to the next. To get the next one, I have to change my first and second number. My first and second number are changed by whatever I am summing it up, by which I am getting the next Fibonacci number. Then I have to update this first number and second number.
Yes, sir. So my
Yes, sir.
like our next number will be like this next number will be our second number, and the second number will become first.
Correct.
Basically, yes,
তাহলে
we were second.
then first number should be, the second number should be assigned to the first number.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
That is the second number. And for the second number, this would
The
be
first number.
Next number.
not next number.
Okay.
Next
Yes.
Fibonacci number should be assigned to that. What happened? Correct. Are we agreeing till now? Whatever I have written.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is this thing. Whatever I have written here. This is called algorithm. Algorithm means the logic. This logic you have to build in your head for first time, or for initial days. You can just write it down in this way. Once you can build this logic from here, if you have to, like, within Apex, what you have to write, that you can just, that is the transfer of syntax. You have to represent this thing in your syntax, right?
Okay, sir.
So how that will look like? Let's start this in a new page.
Like how it will look in Apex, right?
Exactly how it will look in Apex. What I have to write in Apex to do this thing?
First, we have to take two integers.
First, we have to
Integer
take two integers. That is integer, say a, and let's take integer b.
Yes.
Okay. And let's take another integer c equals to 0, which will which I would do this this thing.
Okay, okay. So that we can limit it to
Not
20
not
terms.
total Fibonacci number. Say the next Fibonacci number. This
Yes.
is the next Fibonacci number.
That C will be A plus B equals to
Right.
2.
Now,
Okay.
if I write it in this way, Is it better or clear to you when I am writing it in this way?
Yes, more understandable.
More
Yes.
understandable. So whenever writing your code, don't write integer a, b, or c. Whatever the purpose you are serving, try to mention that. It will be easy for you and it would be easy for someone else who is looking into your program. Got my point?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now this total FIFO number we need. For that, I need another integer. What I can do, whatever function or method I am writing, I can put it there as an argument so that whenever I will pass that argument, that can be flexible and I can just get whatever like from that calling statement, I can mention how many numbers I want to print, right? So calc FIVO, if that is my let me just reduce it little bit so that so if this is calc FIVO, then what I have to do, integer total FIVO number would be my argument, right?
Yes. This is a method.
This is the method.
Method.
So whenever I am writing a method, writing this method, then what I have to do, it should be public. What it will return? It will return nothing,
So void.
correct? Now, what I have to do, this value will be assigned from the method calling. So I am not executing it here. So what I have to do, print number one, print number two. That is, I have to print number one and number two. Let's print it. System dot debug. Which one I have to print? What is my number? Which I have defined first FIFO number plus stamp, putting some space, or I can just print it one after another. Let's not complicate things. So first FIFO number, second FIFO number I have printed. Now I have to define this loop, right? So for that, what I need another integer, right? Say I equals to 1. I am going to define this. So from algorithm, how we can write the program? Let's look into this. This is important. This part is important, like what we are doing right now. So I say I equals to 1. How many times this loop will execute? How many times the loop will execute?
18 times.
18 times. 18.
18 times, sorry.
In general, if I have to tell, what is that? Total FIFO number minus 2,
Minus 2.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So till I is less than equal to total FIFO number minus 2, right?
Yes, sir.
But sir, hello.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, the total FIBO numbers is 20. Have we defined that anywhere?
No, that's what I was telling. Like, this is the statement which we are defining as the, here I have defined this method, and I have put this total FIFO number in the argument. So
Yes.
from where I will execute this method, I can mention whether that is 10 or 20 or 400 or whatever it is. That would be my flexibility. That is the way we should think about when we are writing any code, that uh, this 20, the number hard coded 20 here, I have made that variable again, and I have provided the option to the person who is going to execute this, who is going to utilize this method. I have given that flexibility to that person, that whether it would be 20 or 30 or 40. Clear?
Okay. Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
sir, here I am putting the argument and compare the number, like this is Fibonacci or not.
I am giving the flexibility to the person who is going to utilize this method with this thing, that is how many Fibonacci numbers that person want to print, or yes, what to print with that argument. Then
So
why
just
I,
by changing, just they will put an equal to 20 and it will work for first 20 numbers. And
exactly, they
if they
can,
want 30, 40, they can change.
Yeah.
exactly, they can just do this thing, whatever the class name is, say if that class name is, say, Fivo class, say I am just writing fc equals to new Fivo class. Anyway, we haven't gone through new things today, so that is okay, we will do that next day, but let's clear it out. So then what will happen, what is this fc? From here they can call that method fc dot, what was, calc fivo, right? Calc fivo, and here they can provide whether that is 20, uh, whether that is 20 or 30 or 50,
Okay,
they
okay.
can change it here.
Yes, like on the anonymous window when while executing this. Okay.
Exactly, right? Okay, so where we have left, that is, I have defined I equals to 1, initialized I have told this is total fibo number minus 1, and then it is I plus plus, ideally, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I have defined the loop, that is loop start end, that I have defined. Now I have to write this logic, correct? Are we in agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
So next Fibo number equals to what is, what that would be?
that would be the second next one of first
Second
plus
number,
second.
yeah.
First plus
First number
second.
plus second.
Right. Then print next Fibo number. Print next Fibo number. Then first number equals to second number. First number equals to second number, and second
Second
number equals to next
equals to
Fibo
next.
number.
Yes.
Done. I have completed. Is it too difficult, boss? Now, what is wrong in this code? Can anyone tell me?
No, nothing is wrong. I have done it.
If
Sir,
you try
that
to execute it, you will see that this second bracket is missing. This second bracket is missing. Whatever it was, I forgot like which one I have utilized here.
and sir,
Anyway,
that I should we not tell that it is also an integer? Okay, okay, that is there. Yeah, okay, okay.
so I just wanted to highlight this thing. I have missed this second bracket, but the remaining ones I haven't. Why? Because when I have started writing this code, this second bracket open I have given, but the closing bracket I haven't given at that time. Mostly when you are writing your code, when you are opening any body, developer console will automatically give you the closing bracket most of the time. Otherwise you have to put that, but the ideally you should put that, but do that in the first place, because that is the thing you can forget very easily. And look into this indentation. This is my method, this is my method, and this is my method body. So I have started everything from one this indentation. Again, I am defining for here, so it has a body, so that I have started with another space, right? If I had to write another say if within this, then obviously the body of that if will start with another space from here. Okay, so if I have given two spaces till this time, if I am starting another if body, it will be three spaces when I am starting that.
Okay.
So can you understand this? Like, what I have done here is nothing but writing the logic. You can build this logic in your head going forward, but initially when you are doing this, just write this logic in pen and paper or in word or somewhere, so that you can be sure that whatever you are going to write, you know the logic. Don't try to build the logic when you are trying to type the syntax. It is nothing but a syntax that I have written here. Like, whatever logic I had for this, I have just converted that into Apex syntax. So take it as a classic example that how you should write your code. Till now, this code is not completed because I haven't defined the class. Within that class, you have to write these things. So now what I am doing, I am giving this to you. Oh, it cannot take the whole thing. That's fine, no issue. I can put it in two different chat. Keep this with you whenever you are going to write program, you are facing this. Remember these things, like, this is my problem statement, this is the way I should frame my logic, and I'm not sharing my screen program. So whenever you are going to write your program, whenever, first think about what is your problem statement. Once you get your problem statement, try to build your logic in your head and try to write it down. Write it down in pen and paper or whatever it is. If you cannot do this thing, if you cannot uh, build this logic in pen and paper. Don't go to write that code here. Don't go for that. Next day, if you have any assignment, come back and tell me that I am not able to build that logic. Once you can build this logic, then it would be easy. This is nothing but typing. The lower, like the code, the syntax, that is nothing but typing the code. But first, you need to understand what you or how you can build your logic, how you can reach to your goal. Your goal is to this thing, your problem statement. And believe me, whenever you are doing anything in your real life, you are doing this thing. You are doing this thing in your head first. If you have to go from your home to some place, you are doing this. When you will understand this, if you are going somewhere, the place you don't know how to reach there, you are doing this first time. You are trying to find out either in map or by asking someone where is that place. Then you are trying to find out which bus or train or any commute with your commute you can reach there. If you are taking your commute like bike or car or anything else, you will try to find out which road I have to take, whether there is one way or not, and then which lane I have to take. After that, whether I have to move right or move left. You are building all these things in your head, and as that you are very much like you are very used to with these things, you don't think it in this way. It happens automatically in your brain. But if you try to figure it out how you are reaching from one place to another place, you will think that you know all these steps. You know all these steps. That's why, like, that is how you can reach from one place to another place. If you don't know, you are trying to figure that out first. So whatever you are going, like whenever you are going, you are just going and taking the bus or train or auto or whatever it is. Then that is only after you know how to go there. Just give me one second. So what I am trying to say, that whenever you are doing anything, any execution in your real life, in your practical life, you are doing this. You are building your steps. You are thinking how you should do that, and then only you are doing the remaining things. So here also, when you are writing your code, first build your logic. It is better to do that in pen and paper, and then come back to this pen and paper, or like any editor where you can write, text editor where you can build your logic. So next day, whenever you are writing any code, follow this process. First
Okay,
do this
sir.
process and then come back to writing this code. So from here on, first I will look into this, how you are building this, and then I will look into your code. Otherwise, I am not going to check your code.
Okay.
Sir, I have one question. It is
Yes.
not regarding the logic part or the indentation part. I just
Hmm.
want to ask, like in the method, we
Hmm.
always define void.
Hmm.
That means it is returning nothing. But
Right.
actually, we are performing the calculations inside the method itself. So why actually it is not returning nothing? I don't understand that. That why it is void.
Okay. Okay. Say I am writing you, just write only one thing, that is, in a code, in some code, you have to write something like, you have to write a method that you will take one argument, one integer, and check whether that is even or odd. Okay, don't print anything within that method and return a boolean value true or false. Like your method will give you the return whether that is true or false.
Okay.
Write this code, you will understand what we have to do. For that, what you have to do, you have to take, you will define something like some method, find odd or something like that. Okay, or check even or odd, something like that. You will take that as something as integer. In this void, in this part of void, you have to write boolean,
Okay.
because from there you will write a return statement, that is return if divided by 2 equals to like
Zero.
sorry, yep.
It's like a remainder. We have to find.
Sorry, Indranil, I couldn't follow you.
No, for the logic. You were saying the logic.
Yeah, you have to write the, like, it is a very simple thing, you can write it easily, like, you can build your logic here like this, but whenever you are writing that, you will find that you will write the statement return, you will write this statement return. Okay,
Yes.
this is the thing which will actually, the type you return, like the, say you are returning any integer value or boolean value or string value, depending on that you will mention whether it is boolean or integer or string. Here we are not returning anything, we do not have this return statement, that
Okay.
is why it is void.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have 10 minutes. I just want to go through couple of simple things for today. Let's look into this. So, what is a test class? You go through this, only go through this one. Testing best practice, Flutter, Apex, unit test. Yes, go through this one, this trailhead. Next day, when we will come back, we will discuss this in more detail. But for now, I am just giving you the basics. So, you have written your code, right? And here, what you are doing, you are just printing it out. In real life, you will see that probably you are writing one code and someone else is utilizing your code and someone else is packaging your code at the later point. So there is no point to check, or in that integrated mode, or in when the total program or the total package is done, how we will understand that whatever the business requirement uh, was, you are you are satisfying that. How you can be sure? Okay, to be sure about that, we have one, we do the testing, right? Like whenever you are writing your code, how you can be sure that your code is working?
You can test the
you,
class
you
or job,
you test that,
whatever I can.
and you are testing that manually, right? So manually what you are doing, you are putting some data, you are creating few of the test scenarios in your head. You are not writing it down, but it is already in your head. Test case also, that should also be written. Like, say when I am saying you that first 10 numbers of Fibonacci series you have to print. After printing, what you are checking, that whether there are 10 numbers, it is printing those 10 numbers, or whether it is printing 8 numbers, or whatever it is, that you are checking, right? So that checking or that testing we should do automatically, like with some code. So for that also, we can write some code. So that thing is called the test class. So whenever you are writing any class, actual class, that should carry or contain a test class. Along with that, you have to define another class which is a test class, and in that class you have to uh, ensure that your original class where you have written the business logic, that part is covered, like that is executing properly. So the way to test your classes is writing test class. And remember two things, like first thing is that whenever you are writing your test class, the intention is not only to pass or to show the coverage. The intention is to cover the business scenario. So if you have 4 or 5 if and else statement, so you have to go through each and everything, right? Like, say if I am saying you check whether this number, like whenever you are printing something, uh, you are getting some number, you have to print whether that is even or odd. So ideally what you should do in your testing, you will try with one even number and you will check whether that is printing even, and you will check with some odd number and you will check whether that is printing odd number or not. So these two different scenarios you are covering in your manual testing. The same thing you have to do in your test class as well. Okay. Now, when we cover the test class, when we write the test class, it actually uh, gives you the visual indication that whether it is covered or not. I can show you in some way. Um, Say this is a class, change password controller. You can see here, this thing is called code coverage, right? Code coverage means, to get this code coverage, I have to write some test class which will cover this code. Cover means it is a very small class. It will execute that test class. From that test class, it will execute all these lines. And if all these uh, lines are executed, then you will get this percentage coverage. with my test class, I have written something by which all the lines of code were covered there. What is this annotation? I will not tell you right now. What is this annotation? By the way, don't use it. At the rate is test, see all data true. You should not be using this. Anyway, that best practice and all these things I will come to that next day. Before that, you need to go through this trailhead first. You go through this trailhead and then we will come back. Only few small things I just want to mention. The previous class, I have shown you that coverage, right? Code coverage. For test class, you cannot see the coverage because this class is for testing another class. So you don't need coverage of your test class, but you need coverage of your original class. Okay. Second thing is that your original class code, if all the lines are executed, then you will see that 6 by 6 means the, after by whatever you were seeing, that is the total number of lines. Before that, that is how many lines it is covered, it is executed from your test. Okay, from your test class. So whatever you have covered, by that it will create the percentage. It will calculate that percentage. If that was 4 by 6, then it will calculate how much that is covered, around, what to say, uh two-third of that, two-third. So two-third means two-third means around 66 something percentage will be there, if that would have covered 4 lines. Now the other small things, run test, this you can only get for a test class. For original class, you cannot get this run test, but in original class you will get this code coverage. Okay, so these are the peripheral thing what I am telling you. What you have to do, you have to go through this trailhead I have given you already. You have to go through this trailhead and forget about trigger. Wherever you are seeing this word trigger, ignore that for now. Only concentrate on Apex classes. Okay. So how to write a test class? What you will do in your test class? There are a couple of examples, and you have, like, if you execute it from developer console, you will see this thing. These things you will see, like when you execute one test class, uh, whether that is passing or failing, those things you can get. Again, from your developer console, if you open your class from that, you will see these blue lines means those are executed, red lines that means those are not executed. Okay, and there is another thing, that is the overall test coverage. So Salesforce is saying that for your total org, it should be the average test coverage is 75%. Okay, though that is not for individual classes. That means, say you have 10 classes and whatever the total number of lines, 75% of those lines should be covered at least to deploy that into higher environment. But we always suggest, always, whenever you are writing your code, always try to cover beyond 90%, not below that. Some of the organizations give 95%. Like your test class like your test coverage should be more than 95%, but at least always try to be above 90 whenever you are writing it. If you can cover 100%, that is good, you should do that. But even if you cannot go up to 100%, at least cover 90%. Don't think that 75% is covered, I am fine. Don't do that. Okay, this 75% I was talking about, but it must be like you should think 90% should be covered. Another thing is that system.assert. This thing I will explain in next class. What is system.assert? Once you go through all these things, all this code, and do your test coverage, then I will explain this. So till now we have written at least 4 5 classes, right? 4 5 methods. I want you all to complete writing test class for all of them um, after going through this trailhead. This is something how we will look like. Like in your developer console, you can see all these things. In your test, if you come, so whatever classes I have, there are so many classes, right? And you have to most of them are having the test classes within it, but I haven't executed that. Until and unless you execute that, you will not see like if I open it from here, you can say these blue lines, these means these are covered, like all these lines are covered. Now if you want open something, that means test class for this is not executed. If it is executed and it is not covered, you will see these things as red here, the corresponding test class, if there is any, that is not executed. So whenever you are writing this, another important thing, when you are deploying, as you need your test class as well to deploy. Like whenever deploy means if you push some code from one org to another org, you need your test class. So whenever you are writing your class, test class should not be having different name, so that you can identify easily for which class you have written this test class. Like here, like you can see, it is just ending with the word test. You can put underscore test as well if you want with the main class name, that is fine. But always try to maintain same name for both of them and trail it with the word test at the end. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so go through this thing, and whatever logic you have written, whatever classes you have written till now, think in this way, that how I can build the logic in my pen and paper, then I should write that code. That is the first thing. Second thing is that for all those classes, write those test classes. Okay. So
Yes.
with that, let's close today's call, today's meeting. Okay.
Thank